government has started the case with being absolutely delulu and dramatic. The words the government started about arts being one of the way for people to express their feelings and emotion beautifully is correct. But the fact that they say that it's not to be biased or to be winning awards, this is just a discrimination. And therefore, before moving into my argumentations, I will be going on to start with several rebuttals that the government has given. 1. Unjustified wins. The government says that the award shows like Grammy or Oscars, for example, has been giving out unjustified wins and that it is not fair. To start with, now A, how white artists always seem to win. I would like to take this statement to the art of the music section. If you are to see this in the real world, like how Cardi B wins awards so much time, SZA or Bruno Mars or Montero, these artists are not white, but they have been reaching the top of the Grammys award for so much. These artists have been showing great musics and therefore they win because of their musics and just like that, this first statement they give cannot be bought. And B, how Nicki and Katy Perry are banned. One thing the government should understand is that Grammy or award shows would not ban artists with no reasons. This means if the artist then has shown bad or inappropriate behavior, then the award show has the right to kick them out or ban them from participating in the future awards. And C, this then makes people lose interest in Grammys. Judges and panels, notice how completely delulu and dramatic this statement is. They can't even afford an example. Grammy is one of the biggest award shows in the whole wide world, making everyone can participate no matter what your race is. If you are to say that people has lost interest in Grammy, that is completely wrong. Until today, we can see and understand that Grammy has been one of the things keeping the society together. The society can meet up with their community where they feel belonging, where they feel they have the same tastes, such as, for example, Taylor Swift, they have Swifties and its community. BTS, they have ARMY as a community, or K-popers, or, for example, Weibo and stuff like that, or classical music and its fans. Grammys are actually these award shows are actually the one putting people together and bringing them together. Now, 2, the government said about how artists works hard in order to create an art. That is absolutely true because an art requires emotion and each art contains a story behind it. And art is used to be a reality escape for some people, or perhaps so that some people then could feel then the same thing and they think that there are people sharing the same empathy with them. Or some art is done for financial support or money and sort of stuff and so forth. Exactly. And if it isn't for awards, these artists who want recognition, who wants money, where are they going to get it? 3. How people will then criticize artists for their achievement because of different genre, label them as failed artists. This is your worst case and they are playing on their worst case scenario. An artist has its own way to interpret things as well as how the viewers then would interpret that art. It's as well different from is as well having different point of view and it's actually totally okay. And even if someone is then to criticize because they have a different point of view with others, an artist would not back down because each art has its own follower. A thing that artists should know is that not everyone will enjoy your masterpiece. And 4, how to compare different art style. Exactly, art cannot be compared, but the goal for these awards are actually to give awards and appreciation to artists who can cater to most audience. And if their side of the house is going to say artists will be making musics and arts and so forth following the trend, making it then lose access to varieties of music, making it boring and stuff, that is completely delulu also. Taking example, Bruno Mars and Lana Del Rey. They have different type of musics, but these artists, they have different tastes, meaning that their side cannot prove their statement of how music is actually getting boring because there's so many genres now. An example like Arctic Monkeys, for example, or Michael Jackson, they have completely different art tastes, but they are still winning. They're gaining in their own community. And again, the goal is to appreciate artists. The goal goal of this whole award show is to appreciate artists who is then able to cater more people, meaning able to tell a story to the audience, and that audience gets to understand the meaning of it. Now, as so then, I will be moving on into my arguments as the government has been completely shattered. Now, first argument on what is it made for, what is the award shows made for, and what are the goals of these artists to be creating art and wanting recognition. And second, how this then raises the society tolerance better. But before that disclaimer, we are not forcing anyone to not be supporting to support all like the Grammys. If you do want, you can do it. If you don't, do yourself. Now, there are several types of arts, naming A, cathartic, which means pursuing emotions and stuff like that, and B, art, because art is all they have. To some people who don't have political power, for example, or they're not rich, they express their criticism using art, whether that's like painting, music, poem, and so on. And C is economy, which is to find money to because the sacrifice to excel in art is actually huge. Like for painting, you need them for paintbrushes. If you want your painting to be more, you have to buy canvas, exercise, or even for singing, you have to for the music video expenses and stuff. And that is exactly why they need appreciation, because they have sacrificed a lot to produce that art. And if someone likes it, then it is not wrong for someone to then support it and give validation to these artists. And D is validation, is what I said, which is gratitude and appreciation. And to all those things, an artist will either be having one of those pursuits or goal, and neither is wrong. As an artist, especially naming the Grammy here, we want validation, we want fame, we want money, we want the world to know our name. But on the other side, for example, the old oil paintings and so forth, the artist wants to tell a story, a meaning, an emotion that words cannot describe, and to summarize it, art is the happiness of people, and therefore taking the validation and appreciation from them is no good, and it's actually against morality. If the artist doesn't want validation, they won't even then dare to publicize their masterpiece. They will just keep it to themselves. And not only that, this actually brings so much benefit to the new artists, for example, like Olivia Rodrigo. She was a small artist before, but because the audience can feel the pain and heartbreak to her song, she got so high up boosted and now becoming one of the famous young singer. Like Doja Cat, Ice Spice, from just collaborating in the video of Pink Panthers and rapping, now she has been collabing with Nicki Minaj and taking over the rap world with her iconic orange hair. Exactly what we're trying to say here is the recognition, like awards and Grammy and so forth, is actually beneficial, and therefore to whatever the government is trying to bring us down, there will be no use. And to the second argument, how this will then raise the society talent level so much better. And there are various artists in the world, different genres, different point of view, the style, stereotype. Of course, just like culture, the people in the world, in the society will learn more. A, they will learn how to accept new stereotypes, new tunes in their ear, new color scheme, and new shape or point of view. They will learn how to embrace another kind if they do not like it. They could just simply not listen to it again. This doesn't mean burning down the whole entertainment and stuff. That's way too worst case. B, this will increase the society knowledge. They will learn new things every day, new way to see the world. They could attain new knowledge, and perhaps once they never heard about it before, but because the Grammy Awards, they know, oh, R&B is a thing, oh, jazz and Latin can be one, and yada yada. So the conclusion is government cannot take away this recognition and award shows from us artists and audience, because it is against their right, and that because no one has ever been harmed by the award shows. Instead, making the world better or so much more colorful with the varieties point of view and culture, and to that we're very proud to propose.